That's what we want to hear. Recording in progress. Okay, so welcome to my little living room. It's a little living room. It's a cozy living room, and it's a warm living room today. Cheers to that. Grab some water or some tea or whatever you're drinking this afternoon, and feel free to sip on it at any time during practice. Oh, that feels good. Sit down. Feels good to stop, is it not? I hope it feels good to stop. We stop, we drop to the ground, and we feel. This is the name of the game in this yoga class. Stop, drop, and feel. I feel tired. Perfect. I feel happy to be at home. Perfect. I feel glad to be stopping. Perfect. So you might just ask yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel? I'm feeling grateful that you all show up. Thank you for being here. Welcome to your practice, yogis. So coming into a meditative seat, whatever that means to you, to me, it means sitting cross-legged on a block. What does it mean to you? And then as you feel ready, go ahead and close your beautiful eyes. And let's flip our palms up today. Palms facing toward the sky, and come into Gyan Mudra to close off those energy circuits, welcoming the energy looping in on itself. And palms up, we invite a little bit of external rotation through our arm bones relative to our shoulder sockets. And, palms up might invite a little more energy. Might. Yoga makes a lot of claims. I don't believe all of them. I believe a lot of them. And I believe yoga is amazing. And I believe yoga has saved my life, truly. But it makes some claims, and sometimes I'm like, really? And that's okay. So of course we notice that we're breathing. We notice where we're holding any gripping or kind of defense mechanism. And, out in the real world, that defense mechanism is probably needed. Or maybe you grew up, developing a defense mechanism. For now, you might just put that aside as you allow all of your skin to soften, broaden across the collarbones. And settle into your center, whatever your center means to you. When you hear the instruction to find your center, what does that mean? What does that mean? So energetically, where is the center of you? And it could be different for all of us. Might be somewhere around the middle of your trunk somewhere. Maybe you find your center in your heart. Maybe deep in your belly. Tune into your center. And we could call this place our true self, our satanam. We could call this place internal steadiness. That place that we were born with, born into our center, your true nature. Again, soften all of your skin. All right, we're going to do the, sometimes lately this breath pattern has been called the psychological breath. Isn't that interesting? I've heard it called the sobbing breath, no buts. And we simply take quick breaths in and then a really slow exhale out, a slow sigh out. So today we're going to do 3 quick breaths in and then a very slow exhale out your mouth. So it might look something like this. So it's kind of like a sob, right? That sort of, but we're doing it with control. All right. Shall we start with a clearing breath? Through your nose, inhale. Let that fall out your mouth. Through the nose, inhale 1, 2, 3. Pause. Slow exhale out your mouth. Empty your lungs completely. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Slow exhale. Fill up your back body. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Hold. Slow release. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Slow release. Into the back body. Breathe in 1, 2, 3. Slow release. Let's do 2 more rounds. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Slow release. Last time. Breathe in 1, 2, 3. Slow release. Flip your palms over. Reclaim the natural rhythm of your breath. Ask yourself how you're feeling now. Cool, eh? If you're into podcasts, there's a really great podcast called the Huberman Lab and Dr. Andrew Huberman. conducts a lot of research and then shares it on his podcast. And he's talks a lot about this breath pattern. I think his you only inhale twice, but you can play with it. The sobbing breath. And I remember in Kundalini Yoga, we did something very similar to that breath as well, as a way to calm the nervous system. So many different approaches to, the same sort of destination, which is to settle us down. All right, let's settle down onto the floor. So I'll meet you in constructive rest pose. Yeah, have your block close by. That's all you need. So offloading our spine, relax all of the muscles that have just been holding you up. Feel the broadness across your shoulders, the broadness across your rib cage, the broadness across your pelvis, and the broadness of your feet. Let everything settle down. We'll place our hands over our front rib cage as a way to connect to our rib cage, first of all, but as a way to invite the breath into our back bodies. So no special breathing pattern here. Just start to welcome the inhale into the back lobes of your lungs, feeling that wide, smooth, steady inhale. And then appreciate the narrowing, the condensing as you exhale. You might even feel a little lift away from the floor as you exhale. So we don't want the front rib cage to be rising and falling. We're looking for a wide breath in the back body as a way to release the tension in our thoracic spine. And apparently, tight thoracic spines have become chronic. So, we can do something about it. And we will today. So let's begin by breathing into the back body as a way to literally stretch the fascia as we breathe in and release the tension as we breathe out. So continuing this, go ahead and add some pressure as you exhale. Push down into your rib cage as you exhale. And then allow your rib cage to get wide, expansive as you breathe in. And then add a little push as you exhale. And this can assist in releasing tension that we hold in our diaphragms, our breathing diaphragms. Two more rounds just like that, pressing into your front body as you exhale. Excellent. So now we'll take our block and we'll place it under our pelvis, under our sacrum. So on its lowest setting, and the blocks are nice and wide and flat as a way to support not only your sacrum, but also your SI joints on either side of the sacrum. All right, now allow your rib cage to settle back into the earth. And if you like the feeling of your hands on the front body, of course. So get really wide and heavy again through your back body, the back of the rib cage. As we've come into a very mild inversion. All right, feeling your feet on the ground, feeling the back of your head on the ground. Keep your rib cage where it is. We're going to press into our right foot like we're making a footprint into the mat. And release and press into the left foot. So do your best not to let the rib cage change its position, not to let your pelvis change its position. Just stamp down into your right foot. And you're probably not seeing anything happening here looking at me, but just adding activation through the back of the right leg as I press my right foot into the floor and then press my left. And get curious about the fact that you might be a whole lot stronger on one side, or you can at least press a little more easily on one side, more so than the other. So what is the depth of your footprints? Keep your rib cage down there. Mine wants to lift, it really does. So I have to focus. So it's not wrong, you know, for the way we move our feet to change the position of our spine and rib cages. And it might be interesting to see if you can take a step without changing the position of your rib cage and your spine. Tune into which muscles have to activate. So you can make a footprint one more time with the right. One more time with the left. Excellent. And then let everything settle again. And keeping your hands maybe on your pelvis, maybe on your rib cage, somewhere where you can assist in reminding your brain not to let anything change up here while we pick up the right foot. Yeah, place it back down. Pick up the left. Nothing changing in your trunk. Hip flexors have to do extra work here to lift up your heavy leg. And we're not letting our pelvis tilt and wobble. So this is core work. Maybe you feel your shoulders get heavier as you pick up one foot and then the other. Maybe it's easier to pick up one foot more so than the other. Isn't that interesting? Little micro movements, but they can tell us a lot. Are you carrying any tension in your jaw? Let that go. And you remain soft through your face. Let's pick up this foot one more time. And then pick up this foot one more time. Excellent. All right, heel toe your feet right together and bring your right knee to your chest. And you can hold it in any manner that makes sense for you. Now we're going to do something that's not easy. I don't find it easy. We're going to stand in this left foot, our standing foot, and lift our pelvis up off the brick any amount. And it might be like a quarter of an inch, just to really activate the standing leg and the glute, and then let it back down again. So, my pelvis is coming off the brick probably half an inch. All right. Push down, rise up, and do your best to keep the pelvis from tucking or tilting. Just stay neutral. Push down into that left foot and then come back down to rest on the brick again. So we're making a deep footprint with our left foot, standing in, especially into the base of your big toe. Really activating the posterior chain back of this left leg. Hoo-yah. Shall we do 2 more? And the objective is to come up smoothly and to go down smoothly. Yeah. Beautiful. One more time. Really standing in that left foot. And then come on down. Ha. Send your right foot up to the sky and circle your foot around your ankle and just release all that blood flow through your knee joints. Circle one way, circle the other way, and see if you can circle your foot without moving the rest of your leg. Just getting into the ankle joints, and we got to remember our ankle joints all through these winter months. Maybe some of you are going somewhere warm and sandy, where your feet and ankles will get lots of love. Circle one way, circle the other way. Beautiful. Now, straighten that leg out as much as you can and pull your toes towards your shins. And that includes your pinky toes. All we're going to do is lower the leg. Nothing changes in the pelvis or the rib cage. Can you keep your rib cage imprinted into the floor as you just lift and lower that leg? So now we are using our hip flexors for sure to lift our leg. And maybe your heel reaches the floor, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Go to a place where you can maintain this beautiful alignment in your trunk. And continue welcoming the breath into the back lobes of your lungs. A little bit of quad work to lift that leg as well, hey? If you've had enough, take a rest. I'm going to do 2 more. 2 more slowly. And we'll finish with this heel on the floor. Yeah, so we're going to give this hip flexor a little stretch now. So resting here in a restorative situation, you could reach your arms out to the side and just let your foot flop out in any way it wants to. Still have the left leg bent. And now we just allow gravity to have her way with our head, our shoulders, our rib cage, our arms, your sacrum, and your heel. And if this is feeling uncomfortable for your lower back, if it feels like it's being compressed, bend your right leg a little bit, bend it a little bit. Okay. We'll be here for 4, maybe 5 cycles of breath. And how many times have I said it now? Breathe into your back body and continue. Finding that wide, smooth, steady breath. One last fortifying breath here. And slide that right heel back up, resting both feet flat on the earth. It might be interesting to pause and feel before I move on to the second side. Just going to shift my block a little bit. It feels like it's flipped. There we go. All right, bring your left knee to your chest. Oh, heel toe your right foot a little closer to your midline. And yeah, this is not the easy part. Stand in your right foot and see if you can lift your pelvis up off the brick, just any amount. And then bring it back down again. So we're just firing up these legs, the standing legs, the glutes especially, the posterior chain, not letting our pelvis tuck or tip or tilt or keeping it as is. Push down, rise up. And I'm noticing that my jaw wants to clench. Can I keep my jaw relaxed as I add some effort? Maybe it's easier on this side. Maybe not. Let's do 3 more. And your pelvis might not actually leave the brick. That's okay. Just stand in that right foot as strongly as you can. Beautiful. Send that left foot up to the sky and circle your feet around your ankles. Allow the blood, the lymph to reverse its flow. Circle one way, circle the other way. And then we'll simply lift and lower this long leg without changing the shape of our spine, our rib cage, our pelvis. Everything stays as is. So your heel might not come all the way down to the floor. That's okay. Your standing foot will help you steady your pelvis. Smooth out your forehead. Two more. Slower is better. And then next time you go down, stay down. All the way down. You can relax your foot, relax everything. Settle back into your back body. Now we'll stay right here. Gently stretching out your psoas muscles, iliacus, hip flexor group in here. Because we're moving into the season of sitting, aren't we? The season of curling up onto our couch, getting cozy. It's so wonderful, yes. And when we're sitting like that, we're constantly in hip flexion. So here's a nice way to practice some hip extension just to balance all of that out. Now, some of you at this point may want to straighten both of your legs out. Checking in with your lower back always. But if you're feeling any compression or pinching, or no, bend one of your legs. For another 4 or 5 cycles of breath. So if you do have both of your legs straight, bend them one at a time until eventually we'll meet again where we started, both feet flat on the floor. Find your back body again by breathing into the back lobes of your lungs. And then see, as you press down into the right foot, press down to the left, see if it just feels easier, you feel stronger, just maybe a little more accessible. I definitely notice a difference. Press down into left foot, press down to the right. So cool, hey? And then stand into both of your feet, so much so that your pelvis lifts up off the floor. So much easier with 2 feet, isn't it? So stay up here and remove your brick, pull it out from under. And some of you might want to come up a little higher. And now do tuck your tailbone, scoop your tailbone under. Because we're going to come down out of our bridge as slowly as you can, 1 vertebra at a time. Keep scooping your tailbone like you're laying down 1 bead at a time on the necklace. Come down bone by bone. Keep scooping your tailbone. Lengthen your lower back as you come down. And then once the sacrum lands, your tailbone lands, let everything settle and your spine will find its natural curves. Stop, drop, and feel. All right, heel toe your feet a little wider apart. You know what? Let's grab our dowel. Let's grab the dowel. Yeah, and grab your dowel like it was the handles of a bicycle. And we'll start with our dowel straight out from our bust line, like the handles of a bicycle. And now as you allow your knees to drift to the right, that's my left, whatever. They're going one way, pull the dowel the other way. The dowel the other way. So one hand is going to pull the other arm over. I'm just going to scooch over a little bit so I have some clearance. So pull yourself over. So here my right hand is pulling my left hand over. And here my left hand is pulling my right arm over. Finding some rotation through our spine, which can feel so good and is such an effective way to loosen up the mid-back. Maybe every time you come back to center, once again, you press into the back body, press into the back of the rib cage. So coming back, pressing into your rib cage, and then we'll lean into one side of the rib cage. And then the other. One more reach in that direction and really give it a good pull. You're practicing your gripping muscles, your grip strength muscles are being called upon as well. Last time. Coming back to center. Whew, so good. And now making sure you have enough room around you. Oh, you know what we should do? We should put the block between our legs. That'll help to keep our pelvis quiet. So squeeze the block between your thighs. And now take that dowel all the way around the world, getting into shoulders. Tiny home yoga. There we go. I got room now. Squeeze your brick and also push into the pinky toe edges of your feet while you squeeze your brick. So you're reaching out with the outer edges of your feet and you're squeezing in with the inner edges of your thighs as a way to keep your pelvis from moving. Keep it stable so you can find some mobility in your rib cage and shoulders. And every time I bring my arms overhead here, it occurs to me, how often in my day do I have my arms overhead? Not very often. Let's go the other way. So, the old use it or lose it. I want to continue to be able to reach my arms over my head. Moving into my mid-60s, 70s, 80s. Maybe we'll all be here rolling around on the floor when we're in our 90s. Who knows? Oh, yeah. Okay, bring your arms overhead. Bring your arms overhead. Enough room. And see if you can straighten them out. Now, breathe into the back lobes of your lungs now. Widen your rib cage. Squeeze your brick. Reach into the pinky toe edges of your feet. And push the dowel away from you while you breathe into the back lobes of your lungs. Hold this for 4 counts of breath. Squeeze your brick. Reach into your pinkies, pinky toes. Squeeze your dowel. Relax your face. Last breath into the back body here. And slowly bring your arms back over. Oh, yeah. And then just to release all of that, you can place the dowel at the ends of your, those are the ends, those are the palms of your hands. And just do a couple of these topsy-turvy moves. One hand crosses the midline, then the other hand crosses the midline. All right. Quietly lay your dowel down beside you. Remove your brick. And in your own way, in your own time, roll over onto your hands and knees. Bringing your chin to your chest. We don't use our neck muscles. Push down, rise up. I'm going to crawl over to the wood stove. Oh, yeah, just as I thought, it's going out. Poop. Grab some water, my loves. I'm just going to quickly get this guy going again. The temperature just dropped, so obviously. I'm cheating. I'm using a fire starter. Well, cheating, I don't know, works. All right, hands and knees. Here we are. Here you are. Here we are. All right, push down into your hands, chin to chest. Get really round in the back body. Find lots of spinal flexion. Stay right here. Keep pushing down into your thumbs and the tops of your feet and breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Finding your back body again. Head is heavy. Two more fortifying cycles of breath here. And now come down onto your forearms. We'll do a few rounds of cow-cat here, pushing down into our forearms, pushing down into the tops of the feet. Round your back. Lift your rib cage. Now, how high can you get your rib cage? How close to the ceiling can you get your rib cage? And then sinking through your breastbone, lift your sits bones, lift your head, and then lift your rib cage. We'll do two more. Beautiful way to find that wide breath. Stretching out the fascia between your ribs, around your ribs. And then sink your breastbone, and you can get really schlumpy in the shoulders here. Lift your chin, and let's draw that circle with our chin. And you're going to get into some sticky stuff in your neck here. So sinking your breastbone, start to explore the space around you with your chin. Stretching the throat, compressing the throat, rotating your cervical spine. Jaw hanging off your skull. Oh yeah, and then change direction. Whew. And if you find a spot, a particularly interesting spot, one spot that goes, yeah, I need a little more love and attention, move in and out of that spot. Your attention is medicine. One last sinewy circle. And then what a beautiful place to slide into child's pose. Any child's pose. I like having my arms overhead with the palms up, but maybe you prefer having your arms beside you. Finding that wide, smooth, steady breath for two more cycles. All right, come on up. Fix your shirt. And we're going to reach out with our back foot. And then while we're there, do a few foot smooshes. Once again, loving our ankles. So smush the sides, the tops, inner edges, balls of your feet into the floor. It's a way to stretch out your plantar fascia. And if you straighten your leg out at some point, you might feel a nice tug through your calves and backs of your knees as well. Most of us are going to have a spot or two that feels a little, you know. So get interested in those spots, change direction. Love the foot smushes. I love them. The only rule in the game is that your foot doesn't leave the floor. You reach into all different areas. Excellent. All right. Now flex that back foot. Lift up the back of your rib cage. Pull your face away from the floor, keeping the toe pointing straight down. Pelvis is not going to move. It's going to pick up the foot. Pelvis is not going to move. Beautiful. Change your mind. Put it back down again. So this whole trunk, arms, shoulders, neck, do not change. Just pick up one foot and put it back down again. Lift up the space between your shoulder blades. Gorgeous. Activating the posterior chain again, but with a whole different relationship to gravity. I'm going to scooch back because we're going to add the opposite arm. So right now we're three-legged table. Let's take this into a two-legged table. So left hand going to reach forward, thumbs up, like you're going to shake somebody's hand. Lift up your rib cage. Place it back down again. So really easy, at least sure for me, to sink here. No. Gather up the front body. Get wide through the back body. As we challenge our balance, looking for the wobbly places, getting interested in the wobbly places, and see if we can maintain control in the wobbly places. That's how we improve our balance. We challenge it. One more time. Come on up, stay up, stay up. Okay, what if the right leg drifted off to the right and the left arm drifted off to the left? And come back. Feel like you're opening a gate. Oh yeah. One or two more of those. Lengthen through the back of your neck. One more. Lower your knee, lower your hand. Whoo, and then do your little spinal dance here. You know, it might feel good to come onto your elbows again. Move your spine in all the ways after it was just being so gorgeously steady and still. Yeah. Whew. All right, other side. So we start with the foot smush. Left leg goes behind us. And we just press the sides and the tops and the back edges of our feet into the floor. All right. Beautiful way to remind your ankle of how agile it can be. Beautiful way to stretch out your calves. You're going to find places that feel really good to press the heel back into. Circle one way, circle the other way. Oh yeah, there are some sticky places when I press the top of my foot into the floor, that's for sure. So good. All right, we'll keep that foot stretched out. Place the ball of the foot on the floor, lift up the space behind your knees, lift up your rib cage, and then lift up that leg without changing anything in your pelvis, in your rib cage, your head. Just up and down we go. Finding those glutes. Yeah, press down into your thumbs. Take some stress off your wrists. When you're ready, adding the right arm, shaking that person's hand in front of us, bringing it back down again. I'm a little wobbly on this side. Interesting. Core stability right here. 3 more. Good old bird dog. Stay up here. And now the right arm going to float out, left leg going to float out to the left. So we're adding to the balancing challenge. Whoo, boy. Let's do one more of these. You got it. You got it. Come on down. Oh, maybe down onto your elbows. Let your spine move around in all the ways. Let go, let go, let go. Let your belly get really saggy. And then we're going to make our way down onto our tummies because, of course, we love our tummy time. We love our tummy time. So we'll start by resting our forehead against the backs of our hands and wobble your pelvis side to side and find the front of it. Find your pubic bone. Find your hip bones. Root down into the top of your feet, your hip bones, and your pelvis. So your kneecaps will probably come up off the floor as you power up your legs. Like press the pelvis into the floor, press the foot into the floor. So good. Keep pressing your foot, pelvis, and pubic bone into the floor and pick up just your elbows. And it doesn't matter which hand is on top, just your elbows. So feel the shoulder blades and then lower. So we'll keep the legs active as we lift and lower our elbows, getting into the muscles that move the shoulder blades. Push your feet into the floor. So we'll lift and lower the elbows 2 or 3 more times as smoothly as possible. So good for our muscles that support our posture. Excellent. Now slide your hands under your shoulders. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them up towards the ceiling. Drag them back towards your feet and leave them back there. Rooting down into your thumbs, into the tops of your feet, into your pubic bone. Come into a very little cobra. Push down into the tops of your feet. Push down into your toenails. Back of the neck is long. And then lower. So you continue to look down at your mat. Let's shrug the shoulders up. Roll them towards the ceiling and then down. Keep them back down as you push down into your thumbs. Use your back muscles to lift your heavy noggin off the floor. Push down into your pubic bone. And then come down once again. So good to strengthen those muscles of the back. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, and then up towards the ceiling, and then down towards your feet. Leave them there. Get long through the back of the neck as you lift your head. And lower it again. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, up toward the ceiling, down towards your feet. Squeeze inner elbow points toward each other. Push down into your big toes, the big toenails, and your big thumbs as you come up. Stay up here. Look over your right shoulder. Look back at the floor. Look over your left shoulder. Keep powering up through your legs. Pushing down into your feet, into your pubic bone, into your hip bones. Looking at the floor one more time over the right shoulder. Push down into your right thumb. Back center. Push down into your left thumb. Look over your left shoulder. Beautiful. And maybe you want to come up just a little bit higher making it a cobra. And then very slowly lower back down again. And stretch your arms out wide. Release everything. Release feet. Release glutes. Release everything. And then we'll slowly come out of this face down starfish. Find our back mudras. Oh. Where are you, Mitra? There we are. And getting ourselves set up. Get the Mitra lined up. You know what would be cool? If you steering wheel. So you got your blanket and would be checking the time. Oh, is that what time it is? Okay. Don't get down quickly, but get down efficiently. Nice and slow. Come into spinal flexion to roll down uber slowly. And then hopefully, there's the Mitra right there. Perfect. And then lower the top half of your spine on the Mitra. Did you land okay? I landed pretty dead on. So good. Just gonna pull my shirt down. All right, so we'll just go right into it. Put the block between your thighs. Grab your blanket. So again, we're going to be using our gripping muscles just to hold on to this blanket, especially if it's a heavy Mexican blanket. And then bring it overhead and pull it apart so it's not saggy, right? Before you go anywhere, can you plug the head of your arm bones into your shoulder sockets? And that will happen if you pull on the blanket. Stand in your feet, take your blanket overhead and pull on it hard, and then come on back down. And of course, I'm running out of room again. Okay, so go up and down rather than grabbing the dowel today, pulling on the blanket just to find some different muscles to activate as you go up and down. Okay, so the next time you go, you take the blanket overhead, leave it there. Leave it there and give it a really good pull and feel what's happening in your shoulder sockets as you're pulling on the blanket. Keep pulling. We're just going to lower and lift our pelvis. So come down nice and slow, pull on the blanket, push down into your feet, keep pulling on the blanket, lift your pelvis, keep pulling on the blanket, lower your pelvis. Oh yeah. So lots going on here. Squeezing the brick, just as you did before. Push down into the pinky toe edges of your feet, keep pulling on that blanket. All right, now next time your pelvis comes up, leave it up. Squeeze your brick. All right, and then bring that blanket up and overhead again. Keep your pelvis up there and then pull it over your head again and really pull it. And your hands might be getting tired, and that's okay. That's okay. They welcome the challenge. So good. Now let's put it together. So as you lower your pelvis, blanket goes overhead. As you lift your pelvis, blanket comes up. Stretching out your psoas muscles, activating your glutes. Activating your lats. Oh, the shoulder stabilizers. Let's do one more. And now simply lower the blanket onto your trunk. Open and close your hands a few times. I've still got my pelvis lifted. Open and close your hands a few times. Lower your pelvis. Let your arms rest. Let your hands rest. Yeah, keep the brick between your thighs as you just rock your legs over to the left and over to the right. So keep squeezing your brick, and your feet just kind of do what they do as you practice your windshield wipers. And then the next time your knees go to your left, leave them there. And we'll just hang out right here. The block will just kind of be there, right? Get really heavy through your right shoulder. And breathe into the compression you may be feeling because of the mitra. Breathe into that area. Add more compression as you inhale. Release the compression as you exhale. Ooh, there are some tight spots right there. It's so great. The mitra has found them. One more fortifying breath here. And then as you feel ready, squeeze your brick. Exhale to lift your knees up, and over they go to the other side. Let this left shoulder get really heavy. Wherever you feel the compression, that slow, steady shiatsu pressure treatment, breathe into it. One last round of breath. On an exhale, squeeze your brick, root down into your sacrum, lift your knees. You can take the brick off, out. You might leave your blanket right there as you shift your body weight just enough to pull the back mitra out from under you. Oh, and get yourself set up for a shavasana that will serve you. I like this blanket here. I'm going to leave it here. Love the weight on my front rib cage. Eye pillow. There we are. Stretch your legs out, or you may want to put a bolster or a pillow under them. Of course, you're always welcome to practice legs up the wall or legs up the couch. And the back mitra is so great at bringing our attention into the back body. So continue to welcome your breath there. As you take rest, sweet yogis, take rest. Mhm. And this might be the perfect time just to settle into an afternoon nap, a fully fledged nap. When you are ready to come out, if you are coming out of your Shavasana, you might just start by opening your eyes, orienting yourself again around the room. My eyes have landed on my blooming Christmas cactus. So cool. The flowers come out of a cactus. And then with some little movements. Oh, and I'll meet you in a seated position as you feel ready. Let's rub our palms together. As you're doing this, rubbing your palms together, shrug your shoulders up really, 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 really tight. Squeeze. Keep rubbing your palms together. Roll your shoulders down and back. Leave them down there as you place your right hand over your heart center, left hand over right. And we take this time to silently thank each other, all of our virtual neighbors, our Zooming friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be parted from freedom's true joy. May all beings dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Let's seal our time together with a soft Om. Through your nose, inhale. Into your heart. Om. Have a beautiful November Tuesday. What are we? Tuesday, November 20 something. Just turn off the recording. If you want to pipe up, of course you can. Oh, I need my glasses for this. Oh, you're so welcome. Whoever that is that said thank you, that was lovely. You're so welcome. Oh, there to stop the recording. Did it.